Thank you for joining us for today's presentation on how to boost campaign ROI using the attribution reporting available in Audience Anywhere. My name is Miranda Durazio, and I'm joined by Tony Scott, who will assist me later with a demo of how easy it is for you to track and measure your campaigns with attribution reporting using the Audience Anywhere platform. Before we start talking about campaign attribution, I always like to understand the scope and scale of what's at stake by not getting what we do right and what that really means. The latest Alex Partners study states that consumer products companies waste $50 billion, dollars, or more than half of their collective investments in digital marketing and trade spending. Meaning, more than half of the digital ad spend shows either a negative ROI or ROI not measured at all. Which leads to the question, how can you measure your success if you don't know how your campaigns are doing? Businesses collect data from an ever-growing number of channels, including online. On its own, that online data is able to say a lot about what customers are doing, but it's not as good at telling you why, or more importantly, the effect those online interactions have on their decision to convert. As marketers, if we don't understand which audiences are responding to your ad and which campaigns and channels are working, you can't measure your success and improve ROI. The types of questions that we as marketers need answers to include, am I actually reaching my audiences? Or am I targeting the right audiences? Who is responding most to my ads? How do I tell which digital channel is performing the best? And how do I get quick access to view both my ad exposures and conversions in one tool? To improve on ROI, you must understand the data and the insights every step of the way. With our breadth of data knowledge, a robust identity graph, and a powerful closed loop approach to constantly improve your marketing, we help marketers achieve success by identifying potential customers more precisely, delivering multi-channel engagements to reach those customers more effectively, and measuring and optimizing performance more accurately to improve ROI. The first step toward campaign optimization is understanding what's working and not working. Our powerful near real-time analytics solutions provide deep insight into campaign performance, attribution, and ways to further improve your ongoing marketing efforts. Today, we're going to focus on how to gain insights by understanding campaign attribution in near real time. And keep an eye out because coming soon, we'll begin offering Campaign Lift, which will allow you to measure the impact of your digital advertising. A little more about campaign attribution. Campaign attribution provides directional measures indicating which campaign elements, including channels, audiences, and media partners, are contributing to online and offline engagements and conversions. This is where the Audience Anywhere Optimize module comes into play. The Optimize module is our newest feature within Audience Anywhere, which allows you to easily tie attribution to your advertising across digital channels. The goal of the Optimize module is to allow you to understand what ad placements or partners are driving the most conversions in near real time. Understand demographic insights about your ad exposures and your conversions, and effectively plan your next marketing campaign using these insights. Before we jump into the demo, let's talk a little bit first about what attribution really is and how we can obtain insights from it. On the left, you can see we have media pixels. These are pixels that can be placed on any number of exposure environments. For example, display, podcast, streaming audio, online video, over-the-top TV, connected TV, and click tracking. These are all the places where you could put your ad out in front of consumers. On the right, we have property pixels. These would be considered the goals of your ad campaign, and it's where your ads are driving your consumers to. These types of goals may include getting consumers to a specific page on your website, getting them to sign up for something, or making a purchase through your website. The power of attribution is linking these media pixels, where the ads were placed, with the property pixels, which would be those goals of the campaign. And the combination of the two happening within a specified time period is where attribution comes in. How we're able to link these media pixels and property pixels is through the Claritas identity graph. The identity graph is also what allows us to help you gain more insights on the types of households that saw the ad versus the types of households that actually converted. These sorts of breakdowns are what can help you optimize your next campaign when you can better understand your target market and which of your ads are resonating the most with them. Let's take a closer look at how we determine if a conversion can be attributed to an ad exposure. When setting up a campaign for attribution, we have to indicate how long after the campaign is over that we can attribute the exposure of an ad to an actual conversion. Taking a look at this example, there were 3 ad impressions, a mobile in-app ad, and 2 display ads that all ran at different points during a campaign timeline. There were also 3 conversions, which were the purchases made on March 1st, March 22nd, and May 2nd. But there are only 2 attributed conversions. Or, another way to say it is 2 of those purchases happened because of an ad exposure. Let's take a closer look at each of these conversions. The purchase on March 1st. After we capture the information about that purchase and what household that conversion took place in, we look at the look-back window of 30 days to see if that same ID was exposed to any of the ads. In this case, they were exposed to 2 ads before they purchased. The second purchase on March 22nd, when we look back 30 days, you see the first display ad was the only one they were exposed to at that time. So that also is an attributed conversion. Now the third one on May 2nd, that is not an attributed conversion because when you look back 30 days, there were no ads being run to that person or that household during that time. Could the ads that were running have played into that household's decision to buy or convert? Potentially, but it's not going to be included in our reporting. They would have to extend out the attribution window. And sometimes clients will do that and have a longer tail ad campaign. Say you're trying to get someone to buy a car. You don't necessarily expect them to come back within 30 days and purchase that vehicle. Maybe you want to make that look back window 60 days or something else. It's nice to say how we help clients, but it's even better for us to share the success of our clients. The success story presented here is about a large bank that was offering consumers a co-branded credit card with a regional sports goods store. To encourage credit card applications, they launched a digital-only campaign and turned to Claritas to accurately attribute media exposure to both online and in-store credit card applications, as well as to optimize the campaign over the course of the 3 months. By embedding a proprietary pixel on all of the bank's digital media, using the Claritas identity graph, we could then match digital IDs to media exposure. This allowed Claritas to determine how many applicants were exposed to the campaign and which of those individuals filled out an application online or in-store. And by continuously measuring campaign results, the bank could optimize where and how they spent their marketing dollars, lowering their cost of acquisition. The end result? More than 70,000 in-store and online credit card applications were completed, and the bank was able to reduce their acquisition costs by 94%. Now that we've talked about what attribution is and how a client has used it to boost their results, let's see it in action. Tony, I'm going to pass the presentation over to you to give us a demo.
Today, I'm going to walk you through the self-serve campaign management module in AudienceAnywhere called Optimize. As Miranda mentioned, the power of attribution is linking media pixels where the ads were placed with the property pixels or goals of the campaign. During the demo today, I will be referring back to this slide to help you understand how our system creates the link between the two. In our demo, I will be logged into the AudienceAnywhere platform as an agency called Barometric, and we're going to create a campaign for our client, electric car company. In our example, we will be referring to the electric car company as the advertiser. If the electric car company were the client and setting up their own campaigns, they would serve as the client and the advertiser. We will be creating media pixels for several exposure environments, what you see on the left. In the AudienceAnywhere platform, these pixels are referred to as placements. We will also set up several pixels to track the consumer's interactions with the electric car company's website. These interactions will help us track conversions during the campaign. In the AudienceAnywhere platform, these pixels are referred to as properties. So let's begin our campaign. Our first step is to establish our advertiser, the electric car company. From the optimized menu, I'm going to choose advertiser, and I'm going to choose create new advertiser. Here, I'm going to enter the name of the electric car company. I can choose the vertical or industry in which the advertiser competes in. I'm going to choose automotive. This advertiser status is set to active, and I can choose a secondary industry or vertical that the advertiser competes in, and I'm going to choose buying or selling cars. Here, I would save the advertiser. I'm not going to save this because the electric car company is already established in our system. Now let's create a campaign for the advertiser. We'll be creating a display campaign for the electric car company that will run the fourth quarter. We will have 2 media placements, and our goals are to get the consumer to create an account and also create a quote for a vehicle. So from the optimized menu, I'm going to choose campaigns. Here you see my advertiser is the electric car company, and here I'm going to choose create a new campaign. The name of our campaign is going to be the Q4 campaign. I can set the time frame of that campaign. Here I'm going to choose October 1st through the end of the quarter, December 31st. If you notice, the underlined blue line shows me which field I'm editing. Our look back window is how long after the campaign is over that we can attribute the conversions to an ad exposure. This is going to be set at 30 days. The status is active. We're not going to do a lift report. And the last field that we need to set is the properties. Now, properties are where conversions will take place, such as a website or an app. We'll come back and choose our property after we create property tags. Now that we have our campaign defined, it's time to enter our 2 placements. If you remember from our previous slide, media pixels on the left in our AudienceAnywhere platform will allow us to create impressions and click trackers for each of our different ad placements. We're going to add 2 media pixels for our Q4 campaign. I'm going to go in and select my Q4 campaign, and then I'm going to choose the tab Placements. Here, I can create 2 placements. My first placement is going to be with a display partner. And we'll call this display partner A. I'll choose my media partner. The media partner is the site, publisher, or network or exchange that we will be running our ad on. So if you don't see a media partner here that you wish to work with, please reach out to your account manager. My time frame for the campaign is again the fourth quarter of 2020. This can be shorter than the actual campaign date, but we will set it at the same as the display time. Our creative type is going to be a standard display campaign, and we're going to drive our audience to the electric car company's website. And here I can choose to create that placement. I'm going to create a second placement here, And this is going to be with a podcast. So here I can type in podcast partner C. Again, our media partner who we're running the campaign with is podcast partners C. I choose my time frame, fourth quarter of 2020. My creative type in this case is going to change. It's going to be a podcast. And when I choose podcast, I do have to choose the podcast provider that we will be running this with. Again, we're driving traffic to the electric car company's website, and I can choose to create my placement here. So now let's talk about properties. A property is the environment in which we will drive users with our ads. In most cases, a property will be a website, either mobile or desktop, or an app. Now that we've created our media placements, we want to be able to link the activity we are seeing through our campaign to specific activities that may be occurring on the property. Creating property tags will also allow us to measure consumers who may have seen an ad but did not immediately click through. When the consumer comes back to the website, we will be able to attribute that consumer to an impression. Here, I'm going to choose from the menu, Optimize and Properties. And here, I can create a new property. The name of our property is going to be the Electric Car Company website. Our post impression look back and our post click back window is how long after the campaign is over that we can attribute any of these activities to an ad. And again, this is going to be the electric car company's website. And here I can choose to save my property. I'm going to go back and edit my property. And let's talk about goals. So every campaign is trying to drive an action by the consumer as well as other engagements. These actions are the campaign's KPIs or key performance indicators. We can classify these actions into two categories, conversions and engagements. In the AudienceAnywhere platform, these actions are captured as goals on the property. Our goals for the electric car company Q4 campaign are to have the consumer start a quote and then finalize that quote by setting up an account. We can track these goals by implementing a property tag for each goal. Here, I can choose the Goals tab and choose to create a new goal. And again, our first goal is an auto quote start. In this case, we're going to classify this as an engagement. And here I can choose to save that goal. Our second goal of the campaign is going to be an account setup. I'm going to choose Create New Goal. I'm going to type in account setup. And in this particular case, we're going to classify this goal as a conversion. Now I can save that goal. At this point in the campaign, I can download these property tags for this campaign either as an image tag or JavaScript tags. And now that I've created my placements and set my goals, I can link the two in our campaign for attribution. I'm going to go back to our campaign and now we'll set the property for this campaign. I'll choose Optimize in Campaigns. I'm going to go to my Q4 campaign, and here I can set the electric car company as the property for my campaign. Let's take a look at some previous campaign results we have for the electric car company and see how we can use our reporting feature to improve future campaigns. If I choose Optimize, I can go to our reporting feature here in the campaign. And here I can choose to view previous campaigns. I can filter these campaigns by either media partner or placements, and I can also filter by a time frame. And here I can just generate this report. The Audience Anywhere reporting function will break down analysis for attribution reporting into two categories, ad activity and attribution. And here we're looking at ad activity. In ad activity, you'll be able to view impressions and clicks and a trend of impressions and clicks over time. We also show engagements and conversions here on this page. Below, we'll be able to see impressions through the lens of demographics. Here we can see a breakout of the impressions served by age, income, household size, and presence of children. So if we look at age, we can see how many impressions were served for each age range, the average frequency of how many times they saw the ad, and the number of households reached in that particular category. Attribution is where the reporting module shines in Audience Anywhere. Here, we can start to look at performance of the campaign and get an understanding of what ad placements, partners, or demographics are driving the most conversions in near real time. If I scroll down here and look at partners, here I can choose to filter the number of partners. If there's too many, I can look at the top 10, bottom 10, or all. I can order the data by impressions or conversions and in ascending and descending order. If I hover over the bar, we can see the teal line represents the total percentage of impressions, while the orange line represents the total percentage of conversions. So for podcast partner A, the percentage of total impressions were approximately 49%, and the percentage of total conversions were approximately 54%, with an index of 110. We can see this for each of the partners we have placed media with. Identifying our top performer by percentage only may not tell the entire story of the best return on investment for our marketing dollars. The below chart shows an index of effectiveness is a ratio of impressions to conversions to measure the effectiveness of a media partner or placement. With an index of 195, we can see that podcast partner C is approximately 2 times more likely to drive a conversion. Now, there are other factors to consider when evaluating a switch like cost, but by looking at the effectiveness, we may want to shift our marketing spend from display partner A to partner C to drive higher conversions. We can view the same information with our ad placements. So what ad placements are driving the most conversions? If we remember, partner A was lower on the effectiveness measure, but did drive the highest percentage of conversions. By looking at placements, we may be able to stick with some of partner A's placements that were more effective and remove the lower performing ads. If I choose demographics, similar to our partners and placements, we can drill into demographics for the impressions and conversions. Who are the consumers that are seeing the ads and what demographics might be driving a conversion? Here we see the age group 45, 54, and 55 to 64 indexing higher for conversions. This could be valuable information in future campaigns. So that concludes our demo of the optimized module of Audience Anywhere. As you can see by this simple checklist, the optimized module is a powerful solution that allows you to quickly create a campaign, implement property and placement pixels to track media and website activity, and then deploy and measure your campaigns. Next, I'd like to share with you our roadmap for future product enhancements. In June of this year, we released the attribution reporting we reviewed earlier. In August, we released the ability to have the detailed attribution reporting delivered to your email through scheduled reporting and launched the self-service campaign management that we covered today. Future releases will include campaign lift reporting, pixel sharing across multiple advertisers, measurement utilizing several purchase data sets, and the ability to view reporting through the lens of Claritas segmentation data. So stay tuned. Back to you, Miranda.
Thank you, Tony. Summing up how to best optimize ad campaigns, please keep this in mind. It's imperative to use data-driven intelligence to know more about campaign performance and make better decisions. Understand which audiences are really converting and use that knowledge to find more opportunities and increase conversions. Furthermore, by tracking and measuring what's driving conversions, you can eliminate low-performing ads and channels to reduce ad spend and maximize your ROI. Now that we've shown you how easy it is to drive Audience Anywhere, we want to give you the keys to the car to track, measure, and optimize campaigns on your own. Contact us at www.claritas.com/attribution-boost to get started today. Thank you all for your time, and thank you, Tony, for your assistance. We hope this webinar has showcased how easy it is to both understand how your campaigns are doing and how to optimize your campaigns. Our success is based on how our clients succeed, so let us help you know more about your audiences and boost your ROI so you can look like a marketing rockstar.